Hi everybody, it's Georgia Rose from Zenkuda Soul Space, and I am here to talk about the new moon in Taurus today and the Mars-Pluto opposition. And I'm on this beautiful porch with these beautiful flowers because I just felt like that was Taurus energy, because Taurus is beauty, it's ruled by the planet Venus, and it is abundance, it's prosperity. Taurus is also sensitive to our creature comforts. It's, getting the massage, the warm, cozy cup of hot cocoa on a cold day. It's the way that we like to feel sensual in all of our senses. It's cooking a good meal, it's eating the meal, it's all those things is Taurus energy. But we have some other energy kind of creating a juxtaposition with this beautiful Taurus feeling in this new moon, which is happening Sunday, April 27th. And for those of us in the northeast of the states, it'll be happening in the afternoon time, anywhere between 4 and 6 o'clock, depending on your time zone. But I want to talk about the new moon in Taurus and also the Mars-Pluto opposition that we're actually dealing with right now. I'm recording this today on Wednesday, April 23rd. And if you've been, those are my wind chimes, and if you've been out and about at all today or yesterday, you may have felt the energy changing a little bit and becoming a little bit more uncomfortable or a little bit more dynamic, in the sense of people seem to be extremely opinionated and a little bit cranky, to put it mildly. And so in an energy like this, what we want to do is really ground in nature, because that's Taurus. Taurus is nature, it's gardening, it's the earth, it's an earth sign. So that's why I just got decided to come out on the porch today and do this video for you, because this is the type of setting that you want to be in. Surround yourself with beauty and color and all the ways that you feel safe and secure and stabilized. Walk on the grass barefoot. Those type of things are really great to do with Taurus energy. But the Mars-Pluto opposition that we have now, it's been in play for a couple of days, and today, Wednesday, August 23rd, it really is heightened, and it will be heightened until about Saturday or so. And then the day of the new moon in Taurus, the Mars-Pluto energy dissipates a little bit, but that energy is going to be with us for quite a while. What's the Mars-Pluto oppositional energy about? Well, it's a really interesting energy. Mars is now in Leo, which is a fire sign, and Pluto is in Aquarius, which is an air sign. So whenever we look at astrology, we look at the elements. What does fire and air mean? Well, air feeds fire, right? And fire can also smother air. So it depends on how we choose to use the energy of what our outcome's going to be, or the way we're going to feel. So Mars in Leo is really asking us to dive deep into what our own soul wants to do. The solar light. Leo is ruled by the sun, right? So what is it within us, our deep soul connection to something or some desire or some love that we know in deep down our soul really wants to do? Who are we authentically? What is our essence? What do we really want to be? And Pluto in Aquarius is going to be the deep fear. It's going to reveal and bring, air bubbles to the surface, right? And Aquarius is an air sign. So it's going to bring us this deep feeling of fear, because Leo, the Mars in Leo energy, is pushing us to bring out our solar light and be who we really are authentically. And Pluto has where our fears are about that. Pluto holds the deep recesses of our psychological transformation, or our spiritual transformations. And where are the places that we are not really listening to those things and not transforming to shine our solar light and be authentic in our soul space? So this is a really powerful energy. And what happens anytime we think about, I even know in my own life, coming into this type of thing and doing these videos about astrology and spiritual things, and telling my family and my loved ones, what I now am really doing and what my trajectory going forward is to do more of this. And I have fear just like everyone else, and we all fear whatever our deepest soul purpose is. Will I be ridiculed? Will I be adored or criticized for these things? There's no one who has ever come into prominence, whether it be a world leader or a spiritual leader, or just someone who, even decided to become a mom or a dad and had their fears about, am I going to be loved, or am I going to have hardship with this? And so you can see how this energy really becomes an energy of power struggle within ourselves. we're all being pushed and prodded in some way to break from a surface, a holding pattern, a blockage that's been holding us down and preventing us from really letting that solar light soar, letting our true passion come out for the things that we really want to do, that purpose and that place where we know I was born to do this. I was born to make this change in the world, or I was born to make this change in someone's life, or I was just born to change something in myself. And it doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It can just simply be wanting to become a mom, or it can simply be, I never wanted to be a lawyer. I really wanted to be an archaeologist, right? And so now you allow yourself and give permission for yourself to bring that forward. But what happens with the Mars-Pluto opposition, it's two forces kind of coming together and banging against each other, opposing each other. Because what they really want to do, these energies, is bring us enlightenment and bring us an opportunity for growth and evolution. But what happens in our everyday life, and we see this playing out in the world now, is when Mars comes in and shines a light on something we truly want to do, and we start to have these little itches about, maybe that's what I really should be doing, or maybe this relationship really isn't serving my higher purpose, or I don't really like coming into my job every day. There's something wrong. I feel uncomfortable about it now. And Pluto is the energy that causes that discomfort, makes us want to make the change. But Pluto is also the energy that part of that discomfort is the fear. That fear of being liked, being not liked, being accepted, being not being accepted. Where in groups are we accepted and not accepted? Where in our, sorry, I dropped my notes. Where in our family of origin are we not accepted or criticized? Where are we adored? And so it presents this oppositional force, this dichotomy. And as humans, what do? We compensate for that. So now if we do decide to come out of our shell and go forward with what our real desire is, our real passion is, sometimes we can become self-righteous about it. What is our true belief system? We see this happening in the political arena, especially in my country, in the States where I live, and all across the globe. But we see people, coming forward and feeling like they really need to speak their truth, and they're very stable and solid in these beliefs. And if you don't believe the same, you're wrong. And part of that is because in not wanting to be criticized or be held up as someone disliked or someone who is wrong, we have to have the other side be wrong. And that's why you see all this polarity. It's our own compensation for the self-defense of being fearful of standing in our truth. So this new moon in Taurus comes in a time when this is going on. And either we get really self-righteous about our belief system. I remember when I first started to do a lot of spiritual work, and I was hanging out with all spiritual people. And some of those now looking back maybe weren't authentic, with no judgment, but there's all different kinds of people in every group we are in. And so I became almost zealous for a little while about my belief systems and excluded people from my life who didn't maybe believe the same thing I did. And I didn't do it in a mean way. I just thought like, oh, that's not good. Well, that was my own ego and my own fear of being around something that was different. I needed to be accepted so much in my new belief systems that were authentic to me and were finally coming to the surface that I became almost self-righteous in my own beliefs. And then we can also do the opposite, where we become so fearful that we're over-criticizing ourselves and we don't allow ourselves to come out or stand in our beliefs at all. And so then this becomes the power struggle with another of not wanting to be forced to move forward. And so whatever the way that this division, this oppositional force is coming through for us, that's Pluto. Remember when I said it's really doing all of this for an opportunity for growth and evolution for us? That's Pluto actually and Mars coming together in that opposition to shine light. When two forces come together, if they join together, they're very, very powerful. And so instead of them being on opposite sides, bring them together. What does Mars really want me to look at? What is it asking me to take action about? What actions am I performing in my life that aren't comfortable for me anymore? And where does Mars and Leo want me to shine a light on that so that I can grow and heal my Plutonian fears of suppressing where my light and creativity is, suppressing that passion because I'm afraid. And so that's what's coming up in this time frame, in this week, and for the next several time frames, the next several weeks will come up in small ways, but this is the heightened part of it. This is where it's really amplified. And so that's why you see so many things that are coming to light for people that are drastic and dramatic and extreme. And that's why the energy feels very heightened and forceful and busy and moving forward. Because most humans, when we have enlightenment coming in this way, we have light being shown on our fear, on our most basic desires and passions that we have repressed. And the universe is saying, you know, God, Spirit is saying, hey, you were put here to do this. You were put here to look at this. You were put here to feel a certain way. And we keep squashing it down, either by focusing on the oppositional force in the world that is wrong and talking about that all the time ad nauseum. And, oh, did you see this today? And, oh, could you believe that this? Oh, my mother thinks this. And go into yourself. What are your belief systems? What are the belief systems that you're uncomfortable with, and why is that? Why is the universe showing you certain places where you feel deregulated and uncomfortable and just anxious and angry and fearful? Because those are the places that we need to make repairs. Those are the places we need to change and look at. And this is an energy where we all need to remember this Mars-Pluto opposition. What it's really saying is to remember that each one of us is absolutely validated and deserves to be in our passion, deserves to be stabilized in our truth. Each one of us deserves to be where our soul is pushing us to be. That includes myself and everyone watching this video right now. Whether or not my belief system is the same as yours or is different doesn't matter. It's what our soul space within us is pushing us to do. So the real work is not trying to fix something that's broken maybe, or trying to be so caught up in world events and politics that we have to take a stand. The real work is taking a stand within each of ourselves to be able to allow ourselves to really step into our soul space and what we're really put here and meant to do. And if you don't know what that is, an astrological reading sometimes can give you ideas, can push you in the right direction and give you revelations and enlightenment that then you examine and look at. I can't tell you what your purpose is, but I can certainly shine a light on an area that maybe you need to look at. And you can get a reading on zincuda.com. But the Mars-Pluto opposition is just one part of this week coming in. And then at the end of the week on Sunday, we have this new moon in Taurus. And the new moon in Taurus also supports us validating our soul space, our position, through our sensuality. Because Taurus is sensual, not in a sexual way, in a sensual way. It's tasting the food, it's making the food, it's smelling the food. It's looking at the beautiful flowers behind me and seeing color. Leo is color, it's the sun, it's bringing brightness to our lives. And so that new moon in Taurus is saying, hey, look over here. What makes you feel comfortable? What makes you feel stable? And what is true in that? What are the self-defense mechanisms that you're running that aren't really for stability, but are really just for defense? Because in this energy, we want to be stable enough to push forward and really go where our soul wants us to develop those things that make us feel part of the world and feel in oneness. Neptune in the North Node in Pisces is absolutely showing us the way to oneness and union with the source that created us and why we were created and what our soul space is. So I'm going to give you some affirmations for the new moon in Taurus. A couple of things. We have Mercury in Aries right now, and Mercury in Aries, especially during this new moon in Taurus on Sunday, is really going to push our speech and our talk and our expression into areas that may be a little bit too aggressive. So really mind your words in this energy. Make sure that you're not like letting your head talk before you censor yourself, or letting your head talk before you really find a way to say it more diplomatically. Taurus is definitely an energy ruled by Venus. It's all about love, but with Mercury and Aries, sometimes we can say things in this energy. It's kind of like, you know, when you're at a wedding and they say, anyone have any objections, speak now or forever hold their peace. It's the blurt out. It's the, oh my God, this is why this is, and there will be a lot of repercussions about that. So please, please mind your words. Because it can be kind of shocking speech because Aries is the head. And so we can talk from the head instead of from the heart. So Bottom line is, in this energy, you're being pushed to do something. You're being pushed to be your true self. You're being pushed to go into an energy where you are really speaking from your soul, not in an aggressive way, but you're acting from your soul, where you are going to start taking steps to live the life you've always wanted to. And remember, you deserve to do that. Don't worry about being canceled. Don't worry about a beautiful bunny rabbit just right across the lawn. Don't worry about being canceled. Don't worry about being censored. Don't worry about what someone is going to think of you. Think about what you really want to do and bring that into your beautiful soul resonance. That's why you're here. That's why we're all here. Just looking down at my notes for a minute. So Pluto's going to bring out deep fear. Why fear? Because in going into our soul space and activating our life for the thing we really are passionate and love, well, that brings about a risk. And that's where the fear comes in. So think about those things. Definitely step into your soul space. That's what this energy, the way to work it. When you're feeling anxious and you're feeling deregulated and you're feeling like you kind of like almost like we keep going over speed bumps, so you're on a roller coaster. This can really be very lower chakra energy that feels deregulated. Go in nature. Again, why I did this video on the porch. Go into nature. Go into a place where you feel like you can relax, be comfortable. Like I say, stabilize in the earth. Want to put a lot of earth energy around you in this new moon. So our affirmations for this new moon are, I'm going to read them to you. Find peace, find peace in nature. That's really what I would suggest, because that's what I'm going to be doing the next few days. I actually have to go to a family function on Sunday, so I'm going to be very quiet at my family function. I'll report back on Monday's Soul Space podcast. So tasks that are aligned with the Taurus energy for the new moon are to set intentions. So write down specific goals that align with themes like stability, growth, abundance. Affirmations. We're going to create positive affirmations that reflect your intention for what you want to create in your life from your soul space. And these would be the intentions. I am open to the abundance and prosperity the Taurus new moon brings to me. I create stability and growth with every decision I make. I create stability and growth with every decision I make. I trust in the process and welcome the opportunities to align with those goals. I trust in the process and the opportunity to align with those goals. My dedication and patience, Taurus traits, attract success and abundance under this Taurus new moon. My dedication and patience attract success and abundance in this new moon. So visualize that. Visualize the life you want. Step out. Be bold. Be brave. This energy, Leo, lion heart, really want to be brave in this energy. And ground. Ground in activities that help you feel centered, help you feel grounded and stabilized. Today in my yoga practice, I did a lot of mountain pose and really felt that energy coming in for myself. So stabilize, affirm that you're going to bring the abundance of this beautiful new moon in Taurus into your life. It's going to be a rough week, a rough few days. I'm not going to lie. There's going to be a lot of tension as we step into our soul's calling, and we are worried about taking risks. This is like, jumping off a cliff and letting spirit catch you and bring you to the life that you always dreamed of. That doesn't happen overnight. But 2025 is a year where we have to take those steps forward, because from 2026 and beyond, those activities that we do are going to really be more important than they've ever been. We're in a place in human evolution that we've never been before in the zodiac and in the world. And as Earth spins and revolves around all the other planets, and the planets spin and revolve around us, and the sun and the moon, my wish for you all is that you find that beautiful soul space within that gives you your passion and helps you to do everything that you really love to do and find a life full of peace. You can find me on Instagram on Zenkuda Official, on Facebook at Zenkuda Soul Space. You can find me every Monday night live at 7 p.m. on Strong Island Television and all Facebook and podcast platforms. And you can also find me on YouTube, where I'll post this video, Zenkuda. Thanks so much, guys. Peace, love, much happiness. And I hope that you will join me next Monday night for more Soul Space.